From across America, regional gold medalists have gathered in Los Angeles to compete in the most prestigious event in the sport of competitive aerobics. The stage is set for 75 athletes who will vie for the gold medals in the National Aerobic Championship. The United States National Aerobic Championship is brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that on Planet Reebok, there are no boundaries. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 1993 National Aerobic Championship. I'm Brian Dreber. The sport of competitive aerobics is about strength and skill, about flexibility and conditioning, and especially about performance under pressure. You see, the athletes that we're about to see have less than 2 minutes to impress a panel of judges and show them that they have what it takes to be the best, that they have what it takes to be national aerobic champions. Now, these people come to us from many different and demanding athletic backgrounds, but they're unanimous in stating for the record that this is the most difficult thing that they have ever done. We're all in for a unique experience. And sharing it with me for the third year now is my partner Charlene Prickett, a former judge whose job it will be to tell us a little bit more about the sport and give us some insight into what the judges are looking for. Welcome again, Charlene.
Well, thanks, Brian. We're about to see this nation's very best aerobic athletes compete in 4 events: women's individual, men's individual, mixed pairs, and teams. And unlike recreational aerobics classes, you know, where all the students follow the lead of an instructor, competitive aerobics involves routines carefully choreographed to showcase skill like strength and flexibility and creative presentation. And in fact, it is those 2 categories, skill and presentation, in which all these competitors will be judged. Now, you need to look for, in each routine, 4 compulsory exercises: high leg kicks, jumping jacks, push-ups, and abdominal curls. And although they come packaged with a large variety of wrappings, all those moves serve a common purpose: to demonstrate strength, flexibility, and coordination.
Mixed pairs is our first final event. Now, all of the athletes in each of 4 categories competed in semifinal rounds held earlier this week, and our 3 finalists in each category come through to the medal round. Now, let's take a look at who made it in the mixed pairs. Tim Roberts and Kim Newman, Pat Wade and Diane Teresi, and Grant and Sandy Brazier.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 1993 National Aerobic Championship begins with the mixed pair event.
Diane Teresi is hoping 8 is enough. Enough tries at a gold medal, that is. She has won 17 medals in all, including 4 silvers in a row at nationals, but never gold. And Pat Wade had quite a time convincing her to join him in a bid for his first national title as well.
From Andre's Body Shop in San Francisco, Diane Teresi and Pat Wade.
Now, you might think that the height differential in this pair is a problem, but in fact, that's what got Diane excited about taking another run at this championship. When she began to move around the studio with Pat, she could see that they could synchronize the height of their jumps and their moves so that his longer limbs were just an extension of hers. Look how perfectly they pull that off.
If ever there was a sentimental favorite to win a gold medal in a National Aerobic Championship, Championships, it would be Diane Taurasi. Her story is really a touching one, and she has been so motivated.
Good alignment in her spine. See that her spine doesn't slouch. There's no major curve in her low back. But then they add interest for presentation points. Plyometric push-up when you just jump right off the floor spontaneously. In this man.
A lot of fingers are crossed in the audience for Diane Taurasi and Pat Wade.
The scores for Pat Wade and Diane Taurasi. Skill, 136.5. Presentation, 99. Their total score, 235.5.
A rare husband and wife pair, the first ever to compete here in the National Championships. Sandy and Grant Brazier work together in Tampa, train, and of course live together. Surprisingly well, we hear, considering the stresses. Grant is a former swimmer, and Sandy has earned national, even world titles in baton twirling.
Here is Sandy and Grant Brazier.
Up on the floor. That's a new trick.
She does indeed. This is a well choreographed routine with lots of big cardiovascular movements.
These two were really quite a surprise to a lot of us here at the National Championships. They have sort of come out of nowhere, even though they've been around individually.
Now you see how they have their hands behind their head. That's an overload. Now look at this inverted split, new signature. But I'm concerned about the judge's estimation of safety when she, on the weight-bearing leg, she has to hyperextend that leg. Although it's impressive, they may not get full points because of a question about safety on the weight-bearing knee.
Interesting floor work there.
Push-ups good and strong. You don't see any sinking in her low back, so her alignment is good. Not done yet? There. These in poses this year in the competition are basketball throws. Throwing the female up and then letting her tumble down. It's a risk, but they stuck it perfectly.
Husband and wife. It's only difficult at best to imagine what they've been through.
And now the scores for Sandy and Grant Brazier. Skill, 126.5. Presentation, 95. Their total score, 221.5.
Kimberly Newman and Timothy Roberts have studied hours of past national and world championship performances getting ready for this. And along the way, he has toured with the National Company of Cats. She graduated with highest honors from the University of Maryland and drives the two of them towards perfection.
Representing West End Executive Fitness Center in Washington, D.C., Kimberly Newman and Timothy Roberts.
Demonstrate a lot of control typical of dancers.
Yes, not only control, but musical interpretation and presentation. Such flexibility in the lower body. With strong push-ups, those are their 4 compulsory.
Nice and simple, easy for the judges to see. They had trouble with that one in preliminaries, too.
These abdominals are overloaded with the hands behind, making them difficult, but they're a bit fast.
Charlene, they only have a minute and 45 seconds to pack it all in.
Now watch this musical interpretation. That's a jeté roll, and they do it beautifully. Boy, their strength and flexibility, allowing them to do those huge, perfect high leg kicks and hold their balance really puts them in contention for the gold.
Kim and Tim from Washington, D.C.
And the scores for Kimberly Newman and Timothy Roberts: skill 128, presentation 93. The total score 221. With a total score of 235.5. The 1993 United States National Aerobic Champion mixed pair gold medalists are Diane Taurasi and Pat Wade. Silver medalist, Grant and Sandy Brazier. And the bronze medal with a score of 221, Tim Roberts and Kim Newman.
The scores are in, and Diane Taurasi has finally found with Pat Wade the magic combination. 8 long years of hard work, finally a gold medal. Pat Wade and Diane Taurasi. Pat, this is 1 out of 2 for you, but Diane, wow, it's been a long way.
A long way. I can't believe I won.
Well, you're obviously very emotional. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
I could finally give my workshop on how to win in less than 8 years.
That's what we said at the top of this. My congratulations and that of all of us here, and to you especially, and Pat, well, congratulations. You brought her here. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with more from the National Aerobic Championships with the women's competition, so stay with us. Take a quick look at the recent semi-final competition and see who advanced to the final. Elaine Alfano Wilson. woman finalist is just about ready. The National Aerobic Championships will return in a moment with the women's individual event. Welcome back for the women's individual event. Elaine Alfano-Wilton stands tall in the world of gymnastics, a 5-time All-American and 4-time NC2A champion.
From Freehold, New Jersey, here is Elaine Alfano-Wilton.
The rotation gains extra points, as does the movement between each. One more Shushanova. She has the flexibility and the strength and the guts to pull off some of those risky moves.
From gymnastics to aerobics, Elaine Alfano-Wilton.
And now the scores for Elaine Alfano-Wilton. Skill, 123. Presentation, 94. Her total score, 217.
A national and world baton twirling champion, Kelly Ginelot also brings an extensive jazz and ballet background to her performance. In fact, she works as a professional dancer at Walt Disney World in Florida.
Representing Valley Health and Tennis Corp in Orlando, Florida, here is Kelly Ginelot.
Now watch this press work and see if anything touches down.
wobbly.
And the scores for Kelly Ginelot. Skill, 126. Presentation, 94.5. Her total score, 220.5.
Kim Terry works under the watchful eye of her husband, Robert. He is her coach, her choreographer, and her trainer, and she has taken home medals from the Nationals each of the last 2 years.
From Washington, D.C., and representing the Impact Zone, here is Kim Terry. Very tough to beat routine. And our scores for the final competitor, Kim Terry. Skill, 124. Presentation, 95. Her total score, 219. With 220.5 points, Kelly Ginelot. With a total of 219 points, the silver medal goes to Kim Terry. The bronze medal goes to Elaine Alfalo-Wilson.
The margin of victory, 1 1/2 points. For Kelly Ginelot, a former silver medalist in mixed pairs, she now has her gold. Walk me through some of your routine, maybe where you might have had some problems or had some doubts perhaps about winning.
Honey, this time around I didn't have any doubts. It felt good. It felt the best. Actually, even if I wouldn't have won, it was the best I could have ever done.
You seem very, very happy right all the way through the routine, and I have to say it was a very good one.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more from the National Aerobic Championships. We still have the men and teams coming up. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Drever, along with Charlene Prickett. With more than 25 million people participating in aerobics each week here in the United States, Charlene, it only makes sense that more and more of them would get involved in the sport of competitive aerobics.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the most exciting things about this competition to me is the diversity in the profile of its athletes and their reasons, their motivation for getting started.
I did 21 years in the Navy, and I'm halfway through my second career with the Postal Service as a mailman. I'm your friendly mailman. And I just love it. It's my entire lifestyle's changed since I first saw regional competition.
I started getting involved back when I went to a mall and saw a regional competition and saw the competitors and figured I could do that.
Working with the beginners is a great feeling. Now that my championship is over with, it's now that I'm passing on what I've won with to them.
Competitive aerobics has made me realize that it's all about the journey, not the destination. The only competition is with myself.
The only thing you need to know about getting involved in competitive aerobics is you have 4 compulsory moves that you must do when you compete. And if you do those the very best that you possibly can, you stand your chance of being a fair competitor.
I would advise everybody to try it just at least once, and I know that if they try it once and they've been up on that stage once, they won't quit.
The National Aerobic Championship will begin again this summer with regional events in 10 cities. If you'd like to get started in the sport, call 1-800-NOW-JUMP. You'll receive a free copy of rules and guidelines.
Take a look at the semifinals and see who advanced.
Chet Vienne is one of the charter members of the sport of aerobics, tracing his championship appearances back to the mid-'80s when men and women competed against one another.
From Los Angeles, Chet Vienne.
There's another story to be told in these championships. It's that of Chet Vienne.
Watch this press work. See if he gets those feet through with no rushing at all.
He's already quite an ambassador for this sport. He's traveled to over 20 countries and is a class teaching animal. He teaches all over the world and all the time.
I want you to notice how light-footed this athlete seems to be. He's got great plyometric strength.
For those of us that think this is a young person's sport, he's 33 years old.
Watch this transition now out of these push-ups.
His score in skill 118.5, presentation 96, his total score 214.5.
Lonnie Henderson brings years of dance training and a level of carefully crafted athleticism that's the envy even of his colleagues among the Equinox aerobic team in New York City.
Here is Lonnie Henderson.
And he really maxed it out. Leg straight up and then let go with the Henderson. Look at this needle. Vertical. He has incredible flexibility in the lower body.
And he also has a lot more that he's shown the judges here in this aerobics competition.
Now look at this press work. Well, we had a bit of a drag there through the foot, but nothing serious. And he switches arms, you see, midstream while he's in a straddle press. Oh, a very sure scale. That balance is hard, and he does it perfectly. That was supposed to be a straddle press. The judges know it. They've seen it in prelims, and he lost it.
The scores for Lonnie Henderson. Skill, 135. Presentation, 91.5. His total score, 226.5.
You may remember Hawaii's Tony Young from a year ago. He missed a gold medal by a mere half a point. He has returned to the National Aerobic Championships with a new routine that showcases the incredible hard work he's done to capture the title that eluded him last time.
Here is Tony Young.
expecting to see last year's silver medalist Tony Young put together a winning performance this time around. It's hard to see where he's disappointed them.
And now the score for Tony Young. In skill, 128.5. Presentation, 97.5. His total score, 226. The 1993 United States National Aerobic Championship men's individual gold medalist is Lonnie Henderson. With a total of 226 points, Tony Young. And for the bronze medal, 214.5 points, Chet Lien.
Another half-point margin of victory. This year it's Lonnie Henderson over Tony Young. And what about a move in the middle that he calls the Hendersol? You had a lot of very difficult moves as well. Tell me a little bit about that signature one that you call the Hendersol.
Hendersol is a piked jump, whipping through second down into the free fall. So it's a bit more difficult because you have to pike the legs up and then bring them through and down.
You can call it anything you want. It worked for a national championship title. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be a lot more from the National Aerobic Championships. Some say the best is yet to come. The team competition. Stay with us. Welcome back with the team event. Let's take a quick look back at the preliminaries and see who advanced to the finals. To the finals, Rita Nelson, Carolyn Wieserek, and Linda Johnson. Cynthia Jenkins, Dale Duncan, and Aaron Byers. Bill Olson, Denise Loveless, and Marty Loveless. Bronze medalists a year ago, these three women led an even bigger contingent to the finals from among their fans in Dubuque, Iowa. Separately, they're a mother, a first-grade teacher, and a student. Together, they just might be the team to beat.
From Dubuque, Iowa, and Power Play Fitness, Carolyn Wieserek, Linda Johnson, and Rita Nelson. Now the scores for Carolyn Wieserek, Linda Johnson, and Rita Nelson. Skill 130, presentation 96. Their total score 226.
This team came together within days of last year's championship. Music teacher Dale Duncan is the veteran with bronze and silver medals at home. Taekwondo black belt Aaron Byers made the finals 2 years in a row by himself. Add super rookie Cynthia Jenkins, and you have a talented trio of Tar Heels.
From Greensboro, North Carolina, representing Fitness Today, Dale Duncan, Cynthia C.J. Jenkins, and Aaron Byers.
Bye. are error-free.
Perhaps we've got a new team to beat.
And the scores for Dale Duncan, Cynthia Jenkins, and Aaron Byer. Skill, 140. Presentation, 97. They have 10 points deducted for 2 footfalls. Their total score, 227.
For their first trip to the finals, these three have sacrificed a husband, junk food snacks, and a season ski pass preparing for the championships. Recently, they performed this routine in front of 20,000 NBA fans at a Jazz Pistons game.
From Salt Lake City, Utah, representing the Miami Academy, Bill Olson, Denise Lovelace, and Marty Lovelace.
Better overwork.
The scores for Bill Olson, Denise Lovelace, and Marty Lovelace. Skill, 127. Presentation, 85. Their total score was 212. And the gold medal winners in the team competition, Dale Duncan, Aaron Byers, and Cynthia Jenkins, with a total score of 227. The silver medal with a total score of 226 goes to Carolyn Resort, Linda Johnson, and Rita Nelson. And the bronze medal with a total score of 212, Bill Olson, Denise Lovelace, and Marty Lovelace.
Of our men's finals, our team winners dodge a bullet and win by the narrowest of margins. Dale Duncan, let me let you speak for the group here. Since you seem to be the senior member, 2 foot faults, and you still win by a single point. It doesn't get much more dramatic than that.
Right. I think we stepped out. At the very beginning of the routine, we started a little wide, and I looked at CJ, and she was real far away, and then when I didn't know what happened after that, but when we went off the stage, she said she thought she had stepped out on the very first roll. And I think I stepped out on a jumping jack, but I'm not exactly sure. I never saw my foot go out.
CJ's pointing a finger at you. Are you the guilty party, maybe?
I'm totally guilty because this happened in the first 5 seconds of the routine, and I saw it coming, and there wasn't a thing I could do. And then I worried about it the rest of the time.
And Aaron, I remember at the end of last year's championships when you were already working on plans for this year. Well, they certainly worked out.
Yes, they have. I've worked really hard for this. I've left everything I know to move in with Dale and work with Dale and CJ, and it's really just great.
Congratulations to all three of you.
Thank you.
And don't go away. We'll be back with even more from the National Aerobic Championships right after this. Welcome back. As you can see down below, the medals are being presented, and we offer our congratulations to those that were winners here in this year's competitions, and our wish of best luck for those who will be back again to try next year. Charlene Prickett, any final thoughts?
Well, we had the year of the one-arm push-up and the year of the Joan Winston push-up. This was plyometrics year. I want to know, what will they do for next year?
And it was very, very exciting indeed. We're already looking forward to the 1993 World Aerobic Championships coming to you a little bit later on this year from New Orleans, Louisiana. For Charlene Prickett, this is Brian Drever saying so long for now from the Aerobic Championships here in Los Angeles.
National Aerobic Championship is brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that on planet Reebok, there are no boundaries. The National Aerobic Championship is sanctioned by the United States Competitive Aerobics Federation and is endorsed by IDEA, the International Association for Fitness Professionals. Travel arranged through Continental. One airline can make a difference. What's the difference? Max Saver fares. Always an exceptional value in the air. That's the difference on Continental. Los Angeles Airport Marriott, an oasis in the middle of convenience. Home of the 1993 National Aerobic Championship.